Good morning. Right now, it is Tony, it is Asha, it is JD, and right now it's not just any relaxing favorites request. It is Tony's relaxing favorites request right now.
Absolutely. So basically, Tony, you are going to tell us what you want to hear, and you're going to tell us why you want that song. So your first song, please.
Well, Earth, Wind and Fire, After the Love Is Gone, produced by my friend David Foster. You know, I used to listen to it at a tin mine in Hilton. And it is Hair Still Stands, one of those great Grammy Award-winning songs. Earth, Wind and Fire is it. So I can't believe anyone in the world doesn't love this song.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's good.
Okay. The next one is Isn't She Lovely? Okay. So I'm going to back announce this one because we would have played it. And so then we'll go into why you love it.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Okay. It's a light breakfast with Tony, Asha, and JD this morning. Don't forget to check out Tony's new podcast on SYOK. It is called Talks with Tony.
Well, you just heard Stevie Wonder's Isn't She Lovely, picked by Mr. Tony Fernandes. Tony, why that song? What's so important about it?
Stevie Wonder, greatest concert I've ever been to, greatest musician. And, my daughter is super lovely. And I always think of her when I have this song. And when you asked me we were talking about her, and you asked about the song, she's just so lovely from the moment she's born till now, 28 years on. So very appropriate song.
Oh.
All right. And the next one? Ash?
Okay. All right. And now your next request is for Carole King and James Taylor singing You've Got a Friend. Now, I personally love this song, but why is it so special to you?
Well, Carole King was my mother's favorite artist, along with Dionne Warwick. In times of trouble, I've always told my staff, you've got a friend. This is my song to my staff, my all-stars. And, at times of difficulty, you know who your friends are. I've been attacked the last few days by a lot of angry people. But it doesn't make any difference to me. I don't hold any grudges. And as long as someone wants to be my friend, you've got a friend. But this song is dedicated to my amazing all-stars who've had to really suffer so much in this period. So to all of them, any of them listening to this show, you've always got Tony as a friend.
Brilliant. All right. Let's quickly get into the next story.
Cry.
All right.
Are we at story one, yeah?
9 a.m. story one, yes. It is a light breakfast. Okay.
Sorry.
3, 2, 1. It is a light breakfast with Tony, Asha, and JD. Once again, don't forget to check out his new podcast on SYOK called Talks with Tony.
Okay, so I came across this story, and you're going to understand why I brought it up. But it's a piece that was an interview with all the old children or child actors from the original Willy Wonka movie with Gene Hackman. So they were talking about this famous chocolate river scene that's in Willy Wonka, where they're all like falling into the river. And the whole interview was about how actually dangerous and difficult that scene was, how there was no safety for the children, and how the water was so disgusting because it had been sat there for about 5 days, and like the crew were throwing in their coffee dregs into the water. Like it was really foul, dirty water, not like you'd have these days if you were working with children. Sorry, Gene Wilder. I said Gene Hackman. Yeah, sorry about that. My brain had a bit of a frizz. But I just brought this up because, I know you love old movies, but I also know that you have an obsession and are a chocolate addict. So I wanted to ask you.
Really? Oh, man.
Are you still a chocolate addict?
I am.
What's your go-to?
Look, I've just been promoting a Malaysian brand. It's an unbelievable brand. Love 18C. It's dark chocolate. I've had to kind of try and lose that belly that we mentioned. I love chocolate. It is the greatest invention, mankind. You can put 50 different brands in front of me. I will tell you all of them. It's my one weakness. It's why I am what I am in terms of my belly. It is one of the greatest pleasures in life. And my dream, there's actually a Dutch company I haven't met the owner yet. I'm trying to meet him. It's called Tony's Chocolate. It's actually very
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Yeah, and I seen it here in some of the supermarkets, and I adore chocolate. And my God, I'm amazed that you actually knew that.
Tony's chocolate only. I've had that before. Yeah.
So if I was to retire, the one thing I haven't done in my life, and I hope I rectify, is to own a chocolate company. That would be my dream.
Hire me. Will you hire me when you do that?
I will hire you. It is my
tester.
Yeah.
everlasting dream.
My God.
Awesome. Let's
That
make
is
that happen. Woo! Awesome.
I've had that before. Yeah. Tony's chocolate only. Okay. Next one. Oh, I lost my.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Because it G-Hack when I'm like, really?
Sorry. Yeah. Thank you. Brain
Okay.
fritz.
Okay, cool. Next one.
Okay. All right.
It is a light breakfast with Tony, Asha, and JD. Good morning. It's a Friday, and you can check out Tony's new podcast on SYOK. It's called Talks with Tony.
Okay, so we're talking about a story today that popped out at me and made me laugh out loud. My son thought I was mad. So basically, it's a forum of this mum posting a question about her regret on choosing her 2-year-old daughter's name. And she was asking the forum group of people whether or not it was wrong for her to change the name so late at 2 years old. And so there's this whole sort of like conversation that's spilling out over people demanding to know what the name is and her not giving it away, but trying to stick to the guns of, is it wrong ethically to change the name at 2? We've been calling her this for 2 years, but I'm uncomfortable with it. Yada, yada, yada. It goes on and on. And finally, she admits to what her daughter's called, and her daughter is called Alexa.
Oh, wow.
And everyone, basically, she was worried about everyone bullying her or taking the mickey, going, Alexa, switch off the lights. Alexa, go get me meals.
Brilliant.
So I found that rather hilarious. And I was just thinking, Tony, since you're here, stuck as our prisoner today, what kind of regrets do you have? Because I can't imagine you have many, but what sort of regrets do you have?
Wow.
Silly ones. No, you can go silly.
No. I mean, regrets. I mean, my regrets are, this is going to sound a bit philosophical, but regrets are, if you didn't have a regret, you wouldn't really appreciate the positive sides of life. When you have regrets and you've done something you could have done better, then you think, and you appreciate the good things, and you become a better person. If you're perfect, you never will be that perfect person, because you can only be perfect by making mistakes. So I always say I don't have any real regrets in life. Could my first marriage have worked out? Could I have not been into chocolate? It might have made me more healthy. Could I, if I'd studied more about what are the things that affected my body more, I could have, I regret having this body, but it's a body that God gave me, and now I've got to fight to get it like JD's and wear a Ramones t-shirt. So, I suppose my biggest regret is my mouth. I have a tendency to say it as it is.
To be a bit controversial.
And well, I don't think I'm being controversial. I'm just being transparent. And, Malaysians and Asians aren't ready for me sometimes. So, I'm better as I'm older. I think I pissed a lot of people off, and people think I'm arrogant, and but I just say it as it is, right? And so maybe if there's one regret, I should always take a deep breath before I open my mouth. And the rest, failures are part of life. I failed in Formula One. I failed so far in football, but hey, we're coming back.
Well, not really,
We beat Manchester United. But I did it.
Yeah.
I lived that tuck box dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
And if someone, if I get knocked down by a bus, and there are a lot of women who'd like to drive that bus right now, I would have lived a great life with no regrets. I've lived a full life. I've been on the pitch at Wembley Stadium with 45,000 QPR fans. singing my name. I've seen Bobby Zamora score in the 80-90 minute. I've been on the Formula One grid with Ferrari and Williams. I've dressed up Richard Branson in a stewardess outfit.
Yes, you did.
I've made 600 million people, most of them never who could fly before fly.
Yeah.
I've connected cities that never had connection. We flew to Aceh after tsunami. I've tasted Tony's chocolate. So, overall, no real regrets.
Okay.
Maybe a bit smarter with my mouth sometimes.
But it has gotten you to where you are also in a way.
But that is what people always say at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there we go.
And so just for anyone, on the day that you do kick the bucket, we'll just make sure we won't waste money on flowers. We'll just bring you chocolates to your grave. All right.
Please do. Please do. Please do. I intend being here for a long time, by the way.
I was just thinking about you're talking about if you ever get run over by a bus, it might be the bus on the green line that's
The
hitting
727.
Well remembered, JD. Well remembered. Hopefully by then it's an electric bus.
All right, let's do the last break.
Okay.
We're good. Okay.
Almost over. Yeah.
Final break. It is the Light Breakfast with Tony, Asha, and JD. It's the last time we're going to get to say this for today. By the way, you can check out the new podcast on SYOK, Talks with Tony.
So, Tony, I read in the papers that your house is up on the market.
Is it still? Yeah.
Is it still?
The mansion in the UK.
Yeah, it's. I think it's about to be sold.
And here I was just about to put a down payment.
That was a dream to have a place. It's 50-50 always, but I don't think I'm going to be traveling much now. I've got to fix the airline. I got to do the digital business, and the period I owned it, I probably stayed like 3 weeks up there. So I've got to start. How do I say this? It's about not wasting. Other people should benefit that house, and other people should. Why have so many when you don't need them? Why have so many cars? I've never had many cars anyway, but I have 2 in London, which I never use, so I just decided to sell them. So excessiveness is also not so cool. And so, go and rent a place when I go up to Scotland next, or live there permanently.
Yeah.
So it's sold. Haven't got the cash yet.
Right.
It's on paper.
On the way.
Was there anything about it that you liked particularly, that you went, man, this is the thing that I really like. I just want to get.
This was like, sorry, about Scotland?
No, about that particular mansion that you sold.
Yeah, there was no people, only sheep. So no one.
That's my COVID getaway.
No one could run me down.
Right.
No one really knew me, and it was my connection with nature. Really,
Right.
We go for long walks and see nobody for miles.
So, we were talking earlier, and we talked throughout the day about you being a bit of a nomad and having traveled and lived in so many different places. Do you have a sort of collection of things from each place that then you take on with you to the next, like this ever-growing tuck box of home memories?
No. I mean, if you look at my house right now, it is a kind of a horrific hangover of different pieces of furniture from different places, right? But no, I'm not sentimental about much. I'm very much did it, move on. Memories are in my brain. That's all we need. The odd photograph, but memories can never be erased. That'd be the worst thing that could happen to me if I lost my memory more than any other sense. You don't lose any sense in reality. But those memories are, you brought back a lot of them today, and I don't have anything physical from my first flight. I don't have my unaccompanied miner's badge, or, my ex-wife threw away my tuck box, but that memory is there forever. And so, no, I don't really.
You do have the 1 ringgit from the investment.
I do,
right?
I do, but that's not mine. That's Eurasia's.
Right.
We have, we've got a little Air Asia museum. I think that's important because those are memories that people weren't there, right? That memory, I don't need to see that. I remember that day intimately, but then staff who've joined us, they weren't there. So we got to keep those memories for those people. But my personal memories are my personal memories, and I don't need trinkets to remind myself of that. I've been blessed with a memory, right? Of course, the memory of Bobby Zamora scoring, or the other day, Charlie Austin equalizing against Manchester United. You need to watch that 275,000 times. I've got it in my brain, but still watching it is amazing. But in this day and age, those trinkets of memories are in YouTube, and whenever you feel like going back and feeling good, just YouTube it, right? And I can tell you, JD, I have watched how we tore Manchester United apart at least 62 times. And there was 175 million pounds on the pitch. It wasn't your first team.
No.
Boy, there were a lot of good young players there.
Yeah.
Greenwood and there's all, that guy who was playing for West Ham on loan, the striker.
Yeah.
God, I can't remember. Starts with L. Anyway, there's a bunch of. Yeah, I know. It's
him. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Damn it.
Who scored a lot of goals for West Ham and is played for England actually as well. So anyway, we've got a whole bunch of. I gotta say, some of those young players look better than your senior players.
Lingard,
Jesse Lingard.
Yeah.
He was L. And there's some top players there.
Yeah.
So it was cool day.
Yeah. Both of us will remember that match for very different reasons, but okay, sure.
Yeah.
And I won't have any memory, but that's okay. That's how I like it too.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna forget any. I'm not gonna forget. I don't need trinkets to remember.
That should be on a T-shirt. You don't need trinkets, man. # you don't need trinkets. But you know what you need to do? You need to check out Tony's new podcast on SYOK. It's got Talks with Tony Fernandes, Mr. Tony Fernandes, Dancing Tony Fernandes, the man who runs all these companies. Our friend, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, it's been a blast, mate. Thank
you.
So much.
When they put in my calendar that I was going to have, at that time I thought 2 hours, and now it's gone to 2.5 hours. I didn't know what you were going to ask me, but it's been fun. You've triggered a lot of memories. You've introduced me to Bernard. Now then, you've been top quality guys, and thank you for putting up with me 2.5 hours, and I appreciate it very much. And more power to LITE.
Thanks,
Thank
mate.
you.
Yay.
More power to JD and Asha.